What is up, y'all? That Part Talk Show right here. That's right, y'all. It's Thursday again. I'm calling it Season 2, Episode 2. I'm really excited today. We got all this female energy in here. I'm so happy for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, SKG, also known as Alicia. What's up, girlfriend?
What's up?
Yes, finally got me some, independent, strong female energy. I've had a couple of females before on the show, but it was like mixed in with some guys. Mm-hmm. So this is like an all-female one right here. I'm excited.
Dope, me too.
How are you?
I am good. Just grinding, getting prepared for 2023.
Nice. So you got this new single out right now, right? Poppin'.
Yeah, I have a few out. But yeah, I do. I have a EDM song out right now. I just released one of my singles with Gangsta. May she rest in peace.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second too.
Yeah, and I'm just dropping music and grinding.
Man, so I met you through a certain somebody we shall not name.
We can't name him because we don't like him no more.
We agreed. Razzle Dazzle, aka Razby, BTK. We met through him. He was doing a show with you, right?
Yeah, we were doing a show,
and I was just hanging around, learning the ins and outs of the industry. And yeah, we just linked up and been cool ever since. And it's great to see you grind the way you do, and just how independent and strong you are. Because I know how this industry can really like eat up females and spit them out, or at least try to.
Yes.
And I feel like you really stood your ground. So tell us a little about that. Like, how did you get started?
So my case is kind of special. I'm gonna just text because it's my daughter, but
yeah, go ahead.
My case is kind of special. I grew up in the industry, and I came in the game when it wasn't even female rappers in the industry. I was probably the youngest, especially on the West Coast, and I come from like the Death Row era, the Tupac, Snoop, Corrupt, Suge Knight. I come from there.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I started going to the studio when I was like 12, 13 years old. And the first studio I stepped into was a guy named Mark Gordon from the group Lyricist. And I was just this young girl with a passion of wanting to do music. And I just made it happen. I just always kept that passion.
Dang. So at 12 years old, what made you so sure that you wanted to do music? I can't even...
Well,
12 years old, that's pretty young.
Yeah, so my brother, I had an older brother who's rested in peace now, but he's the one who introduced me into the music industry. He used to write raps for me when I was a little girl. And so I would go visit him. He was locked up, and I'll go visit him. And every time I went to visit him on our family visits, he always had a rap for me.
Nice.
So I went home, and one day I was like, oh, I want to write my own rap. And I wrote my own rap. And so I went to him, and he had a rap for me. I had a rap for him to surprise him.
Nice.
And then that's when I learned at like, I want to say 9 or 10 that I was a writer. And so kids would be outside playing, I would be the only one in the house writing raps. I would be the only one at school rapping. And back then kids is like, what, rapping? It wasn't as popular amongst my age group, you know, as it is now.
Dang.
Yeah.
So you go in studio.
So I go into the studios, I do that. And then I think I turned like 16. And so I get into some trouble and I end up getting locked up. So when I got locked up, I went to juvenile hall, I went to camp, and I didn't know how to program in jail. It was very hard for me because I was always used to being on my own, running my own program. And I remember I kept getting in trouble, kept getting in fights. And then one time the staff, they jumped me real bad and stomped me out, right? And I had nothing to cope. I was so depressed. It was such a hard time for me. And then I just started writing. And that became my therapy. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I get out, I'm getting a deal. And literally as soon as I got out, I got signed to Death Row Records.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, way to turn
Yeah.
an experience, you know what I mean? And I don't want to call it a bad, or because it obviously was a great experience to get you to that point, you know what I mean? So
very much so. And that's why I always say music is therapy. And sometimes, you know, if parents have kids or disruptive kids or kids that's going through stuff, sometimes they can introduce them into different genres, all form of music, you know, like music really can be therapy just to let, you know, a child or someone express themselves. But my mother was never supportive. So she was like my biggest critic. I remember one time I had a talent show I was preparing for. And this is right when I started going into the studios, but I was about to be living on my own as a young kid. And I was preparing for this talent show, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna win it, and I'm just writing my songs. And back then, you recorded on like DATs and ADATs. This before Pro Tools was even in the game. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna win the show. And my mom came and was like, you can't do the talent show. And she didn't do it because I got in trouble at school or nothing of that nature. She just did it just to be evil. And I'm like, why would you do this? And I was crying, and I was so devastated because, like, when I was younger, rap was life. If I couldn't rap, I was gonna die. Like, I was so dramatic with music. And so she wouldn't let me. So I packed up myself and I left. I ran away. And I ran away from home and ran to the talent show, Row Entertainment. And I was going up against this group called Melah. And they still follow me on Instagram.
Nice.
Right? So, and I used to go by the name Hellacy. And so, Row Entertainment, he's like, you know, introducing up and coming artists from LA, Hellacy. And I grabbed the mic, and as I walk out on stage, I see my mother in the crowd.
Oh my gosh. It's like kind of like some Sister Act
It's
stuff.
like Sister Act. My mother and my brother, his wife at the time, which is his ex-wife now, but they were in the crowd. And I didn't give a damn. I took that mic and rocked it and won.
Dang,
and when I won, my mom came on stage all happy, you know, but I'm like, girl, you wasn't even gonna let me do this show. And it was just like, you know, that was it. Like, the PDs, the program directors, it was one program director when I was growing up named Tawala Sharp. He ran radio in LA. I used to be 12 years old, going to the radio station, calling, harassing him, giving him my demo. He'll be like, where's your parents? I'll be like, just play the music.
Man, but the hustle, the grind, and the belief.
Very much so.
Man. And since then, you've been successful?
Well, okay. So that happened. So I signed to Death Row, do all that. I write and perform on Tupac's album Until the End of Time. I got a plaque for that. I just got my plaque for my Billboard work for Dog Pound album. So I perform on these albums. I do all this stuff. And then I end up getting pregnant. And right when I got pregnant, I had an interview. I was supposed to go on 106 in Park with Suge and the rest of the label mates. He found out I was pregnant. We get into it. He didn't tell me, and he just popped up on TV with Left Eye. And it was just so much behind it. I was so heartbroken, so hurt, you know. And that was like the start of the down spiral of my music career, because that's all I ever wanted. But I ended up being pregnant, and it was like, okay, well, back then it wasn't popular for females to be pregnant.
Right.
So I chose my baby. So with that, you know, I wanted to learn the behind the scenes, you know. So I started doing like video productions, and then I went and I ended up working for a radio station called 93.5 K-Day. The owner, Michael Durbin and Roy Laughlin, was the owners over there. And then that's how I learned my corporate game. So I'm this girl, this little black girl from Crenshaw and Slauson, coming in this corporate building with these millionaires in business suits, and I'm talking to them any kind of way. And they're like, you know, I wasn't the norm. So everyone in that public setting was very scared of them. I was like, you know, y'all need to loosen up and this and that. And so I kind of taught them something, and they taught me something. They taught me how to handle corporate, and I taught them how to, you know, kind of blend in with people like me and like how to understand us. And so I stayed at K-Day, and then I just started my own companies. And from there, I started doing events. I started doing film deals, TV deals, and so I was able to build my companies up, and then I always kept the music. And so I decided to go back into the music and crossover genres. That's why I got the EDM record and stuff like that. Nice. And I just kind of felt like I want people to see, like, even if you're not where you're supposed to be, if you keep going, you'll get where you need to be, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, who knows what what would have happened if you did get that chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have, you never know. You
No.
never know, you know what I mean?
Very much so, because I look at everything now like, okay, last year I performed at South by Southwest. I performed at Coachella. Like, I've been grinding and doing so many things to where this year I was talking to my manager and I'm like, don't even pitch me to Coachella. We're not doing any of that. I just want to chill and do other stuff that we have lined up. Like, I've been blessed to do things that I wanted to do. I performed in front of 10,000 people at South Padre Island last year. That was super big. Now I'm focused on the EDM festivals and, things of that nature. So I'm just kind of moving at my pace and not worried about keeping up with other people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at you. See? And that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? People like this and stories like that to, inspire not only women, but anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the things that you've gone through. I was just talking the other day about how when I look back at my life, it's crazy how every time I decide to walk away from something else better always comes along. You know what I mean? And it sounds like even though you got into some really tough, times where you thought it was over and it was done, psych. Girl, you came back 10 times stronger. Look at you.
Very much
and
so.
You walk like that and you carry yourself like a very, strong, mature woman that, very powerful, where you know your power. Like, you know what I mean? You're very in tune with who you are and what you are, and you walk like that and you show that. So that's very inspirational. And I always feel like that energy off you, like, man, she's dope. I got to be doing what she's doing. Or, you know what I mean? I got to see her and watch her move, because you're very inspiring in the way you move. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I'm just comfortable in my skin, and I think that I'm relatable. I'm the type of person, I can be, basically in the neighborhood and be at the corporate table. Like, I mix and mingle. I have a diverse network, but I am who I am. And it's like, you're just going to accept me for me. I'm not going to conform to who you want me to be. And we're still going to get this job done. I'll be on Zoom calls and business calls right now. I'm working on a $5 million project and everything is on me. And I'm dealing with nothing but heavy hitters, right? But then I'm working on some independent stuff over here where it's like, okay, well, this costs $1,000 or this costs $500. It's just like, I understand the balance, and I also understand that this is temporary, and I'm not taking this with me when I die. This is for now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't belittle people. And I think a lot of people do that, or because I know this person, I act funny towards this person. I don't do stuff like that. I just, do me and talk to who I want to talk to, kick it with who I want to kick it with, do business with who I want to do business with. And I don't allow people to like put me in a box.
Man, that's good. And that's good because, that's the biggest probably epidemic right now is people trying to fit into the box, you know what I mean? Or conform to the box. So living proof, you don't have to conform.
You don't.
Be you. Be you.
That's why I have my dreads now. Like, this was hard for me to start wearing my dreads. And I'm like, you know what? I really just want to be me. I'm just like,
and
really.
As you should. And as you should. So going into this EDM track, let's introduce this one since, talking about not conforming, how did this come about? With Paul Wall?
Yeah, so so my album Unfinished Business is out right now, and I linked up with a guy named Bobby, who is the owner of Blakdout Records, and he's more so in the EDM world. And so we talked about doing an EDM project. And so what he wanted to do is take my originals from my album and reboot them. And so when you do a reboot on the EDM side, you just reboot it to the EDM version,
right? Which
is really dope. And so we put the plan together and we did that. And he called me. He was like, look at iTunes. And I'm like, okay. And we hit number 5. And I was like, oh my God. Because
congrats.
and I always wanted to hit the charts, but I've never did it, whatever. But I was able to do it with this project. And Paul Wall was excited. And, we're just like happy because it showed me that I'm able to survive in the EDM world, create with cool people, and crossover genres and learn new things from great people in that world. And to me, this was like a test. So
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, let's show them how you shine right here. Big Chains, Big Grills featuring Paul Wall Rebooted. Let's go. Hey.
Power Wild, baby. Hey. I'm about that big bank, rock block, diamond grill, big chain. Paper in my pocket, I got money on my mind, man. Mind frame, stacking chains, riding swing, dripping stains, flawless diamonds on the fang. Custom made by Johnny Dang, but I hang low as I crowd down slow. Candy dripping off the dough, getting money, all I know. Getting money, all I know. Getting money, all I know. Getting money, 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 money. Getting money, all I know.
Hitters in the parking lot. Out here cashing out like I'm working in casinos. I didn't choose the game and let the game choose me though.
Big change.
Y'all niggas talk a lot, now y'all wanna talk a lot. Y'all niggas talk a lot, now y'all wanna talk a lot. Y'all niggas.
I got my hitters in the parking lot. Y'all niggas talk a lot. Now y'all wanna talk it out, cause my hitters truck it out. Flying, I'm pretty and I'm getting to the money though. Chain hang low while I'm rolling on the 100 spokes. Big house, home money with that cash flow though. Curving all them niggas tryna holler with that little though. Been about my business, so we stacking, closing deals. Boss bitch cashing out, showing haters how I really feel.
Big bank, rock block, diamond grill, big chain. Paper in my pocket, I got money on my mind, man.
Hey, representing the Texas in there. I see you, girl. Man, how fun was that?
It was real fun.
Yeah. Did you guys make the track and then they remixed it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. So, okay, being a woman in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
what are the positives and what are the negatives?
Well, let's start with being a woman from LA because that's where you really have to start. It is so hard for female rappers coming out of the West Coast. If you really look at it as a whole, right? You have Young Miami, you have Trina, and we're talking about ladies from different parts, from the South, the East Coast, right?
Right.
You have Kaya. You go to the East Coast, you got Cardi, Remy, Nicki, Foxy, Kim. I mean, you could just name them. Who can you name on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'd have to like really think about it.
Yeah. And so that is a struggle because the West Coast hates on each other so much. And the women, like we have to deal with that. If the men aren't building each other up and helping each other, how do we expect them to help and carry us? We have to do it ourselves. So, for me, I have to be double strong. I have to be double assertive. I have to be very stern, and I've beefed with a lot of people because I'm not the type of person that you're going to backseat.
Right.
You're not going to tell me what I cannot do. I don't dick ride. I don't ride the wave. I don't care, and no disrespect. But if it's Dre, Cube, I respect my legends. But it's a difference between respecting and dick riding. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I just believe in standing on my own and paving my own way. But women get hated on, especially West Coast female rappers. And it is sad that you cannot name 5 top female rappers from LA or the West Coast, but you can name them any and everywhere else.
Yeah, I can even name a couple from Texas, but
See,
not
I can name some from Texas,
Yeah.
Atlanta. Think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And that is like a real issue that people don't want to talk about, you know, but it needs to be talked about, because why aren't there any female rappers on the West that has the status of other rappers in other cities and states?
Why do you think that is?
I think
Just the competition.
No, I think it's because it's an internal hate in our city. You know, it's a black cloud in our city. And I feel that the men don't support and don't step up how they need to with one another. The brotherhood there for rapping and stuff is not what it was. Death Row Records is the only label, and I don't care who say what, that really put people on. You know, you should is each one teach one. It's okay to give another person game. It's okay to give another person connects. It is okay to look out for the next person. It's okay to plug somebody else. And that culture right there of plugging and helping, it's not it in LA. When you look at Atlanta, they're so on top because they all help each other and they support their own. Even if you listen to radio in LA, they barely play LA artists.
Dang. So have you ventured out to try to, you know, do other cities, or are you just kind of like strong with LA? And...
No, I mean, because I have a song with Benny Man. I'm about to go to Jamaica and shoot my song with him. I have a rhythmic song that's going to be that is going to be a very good song, a crossover song for me, and I know it is. My whole team know. My album, I have Boosie, Juvie, Paul Wall, so it's not that. It's just, it's sad when you're from a place and then you see the hate and you see how people don't prosper because of the internal dysfunction within that city that people are scared to talk about. I'm not scared to talk about that, you know.
Yeah, and it sucks that, you know, you're from there, right? And you were raised there, and then they don't even support you. Sometimes you need that support to kind of be able to go out, but now you have to do it reverse style. You have to go out and get support just for them to even notice to support you. And
I thought it was a singular feeling, right? I thought it was singular, but it's a shared feeling amongst a lot of female rappers and even male rappers, you know? But I'm speaking for the female rappers. It is so many dope females in LA, coming out of LA that rap, and it's like, it's no support.
Dang, well, there you go, y'all. We gotta do better. We gotta do better, you know what I mean? Support females everywhere, you know what I mean? And speaking of dope female rappers, let's talk about Gangsta Boo. Oh man, rest in peace.
Yeah, very much so.
What's your experience with her? I know you have a song with her that we're gonna play.
Yeah, so me and Gangsta Boo actually did a song, I want to say 9 years ago. And then we got reconnected through one of my friends and my co-host on my show, Anthony Cherry. And so she had invited us, I want to say almost 2 months ago, to speak on her podcast show. And we went on there and we spoke and we reconnected from there. So then December, a month before and then going into December, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put the song out, because I put the video out, but I never put the song out. So I was repackaging it. I had all these plans, and then she passed away.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you know, I still got the song dropped because the song came out 2 weeks before she passed, I believe. And then I'm just going to reshoot the video and, you know, redo her scenes and repackage it and put it out.
Oh man. Well, with that being said, rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. One of the dope females, you know, that's paved the way for a lot of females, a lot of artists in general.
And she was a humble legend, a very humble legend.
So shout out to her, you know, Flava featuring Gangsta Boo and Melah Deuce.
Melah Deuce.
Melah Deuce. Let's go.
SKG, I'm feeling your hustle swag, girl. That's that flavor, you know what I'm talking about? I'm Gangsta Boo. I ain't got none with that flavor dripping all over my body. You know the saying, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Come and get a taste of this Gangsta Boo. I'm sweeter than your girlfriend, that's the truth. I stash mines and spin here. You know what it is. I don't like fucking with a nigga who's cheap and don't know how to get up and go and get heels. I do, boy. Hustle all day until the sun go down. Keep some flavor chicks around. Light, white, black, brown. These bitches be hating on the G, cause I be bout my P-I-M. P-I-N-G till the whole world see you. Just do you, I'ma do me, bitch.
got flavor. I got flavor.
Flavor like a lollipop, about to lick this lollipop. I'm up in the club and all the boilers make their money drop. Boss bitch, hustle girl, swag, getting major guap. All them birds, man, I ain't tripping cause they flying flies. Wait, he think he big me? Right, then I'm Susan Lucci. Wanna lick the coochie, 10 stacks in a cup of Gucci. Got them bitches, man, cause they know they niggas wanna screw me. Play him like I'm blonde. Look, mommy, he mean nothing to me. They need a cast head, bustin' like an aneurysm. Ask me as we fucking, I'll just giggle, never answer them. Counting Benjamins in a rover, bumping over like Lynn on my shoulder. Dust them haters off my shoulder.
I got flavor. 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 I got flavor.
Yeah.
I got flavor.
Tell these chicks chill cause I'm cold though. Lil' mama hot with a cold flow. Go against me, that's a no-no. MD Illy, that's a logo. I'm hot so the boots in flames now. I'm playing you niggas, it's a game now. Shit's getting mad, it's a shame now. I'm in the front, you a lame now. He said he wanted lick, so I let him taste. Got the good, so we on the chase. Trying to get the title like he in the race. I told that nigga put the money in my face. He said he wanna spend his cash on me. I said he could spend his last on me. If I give it up, don't mean you can keep it. Might never let you beat it, but baby, you can eat it.
I got flavor. 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 I got flavor.
There we go. She got flavor. So, speaking of flavor, how's your love life out there in the industry?
Oh God. I'm like single.
Like, what is it? You just kind of comfortable? Just because I know it's hard for a lot of women in the industry.
I have friends in different states. I'm just like,
She said, that's a female version.
yeah, no, I don't like people to put, I don't like to be confined. And
Right.
I don't like people I don't like people questioning me. I have to really like you. But if I'm just talking to you,
Yeah.
when we kick it, we kick it. When we don't kick it, do you, I do me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kids, you have one?
4.
4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you had more than one. So how's that? That's a lot to juggle too.
Yeah, they're
Being
big.
a mom.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Well, my oldest is 20, so my kids are big, and it's just kind of like I'm restarting my life, I guess, because I was so used to having all my kids, raising them. I just got my daughter her own place, so it's just like, time waits for no one.
Right.
And I'm just kind of like restarting.
Man.
Yeah.
So they're almost out the house?
Yeah.
Man, so you about to be on mommy time. Done. I did my job.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Dang, so what's in the future for you once they're all out the house? And
Well, I'm gonna go back to school. I took some semesters off school to do my music and stuff. So I was just talking about that I'm gonna start back school probably in a year and finish law school to become an attorney. Yeah.
Nice. Look at you.
I want to reach that goal, and I'm just gonna knock it out.
Why not?
So I'm gonna prepare, but yeah.
Go ahead. Look at you. All right. Man, inspiration. What else don't you do? Let's talk about that. What are things that are on your bucket list right now that you haven't done that you're like, no, I got to?
Travel a lot.
Just travel a lot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Out the country, different continents.
Anywhere specific you want to go?
Africa. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Like just to travel and as a spectator, or really like get into Africa and
as a spiritual journey, like just to learn a
Interesting.
few things. And then a hobby that I'm actually doing is I'm tracing my roots to find out who I really am and where I really come from and what my DNA is. and
Interesting. I was just doing that too the other day.
Oh, really?
What have you found out anything so far?
I mean, just talking to people in my family in the past, I know that we are from like the West Indies and, different places, but I want to really know.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a story because, it's so many secrets from the past and they don't want to tell everything. So I'm like, let me just do my own research and find out.
Yeah, that's so crazy how that happens. How like we can only go so far by word of mouth because we don't even know what stories were true.
Because people always ask me, what are you mixed with? What are you mixed with? But if you see my parents, I'm like total opposite, like from how my parents look. Like they're brown, like brown, and it's just
You're like, I gotta find out.
I just want to know. I'm like,
you're gonna find out some things that maybe. Are you ready to find out things that you may not be ready for?
Absolutely.
Man, that's crazy. So okay, so you posted this story one time that really caught my attention, and I wanted to talk about. You posted an old picture with a stack of money in your hand. And you wrote something along the lines of, you used to be out there, you used to be getting money, and that was what you wanted.
Oh,
and that
I
was
had the 10,000.
Yeah. And then you went on to say, you're in a whole different place now.
I mean, I am because, like, I've lived a very interesting life, and I know I have. And but I've lived different lives, like different lifestyles. I've had money. I've been homeless. I've been broke. I ran to the county building and bugged them people for homeless assistance, food stamps, like everything when things got rough, and even I have friends who didn't know how to get food stamps or do this, and I showed them. And I say that because I'm kind of like a, what is it called? A chameleon. Like I know how to blend in and fit in. And I know that, if I lose everything, I still know how to survive. So I just kind of felt like, the things that I used to chase after, like when I was younger, like, you sign a death row or you come from a family that's always got money, you're going to value certain things. But once you get older, you're going to look at things very differently. The men in my family, and I was just talking about this, they lived a very high-end lifestyle. So, I was growing up and you would have Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones and, guys like Magic Johnson at my granny house because my uncles was getting money. They'll go out of town and, pass on a lick for $250,000 or $100,000 or, so growing up, the first people I seen in Rolls Royces and stuff Porsches was my family. And I thought that was normal. But I also had a mother that was on crack cocaine and I was in the spot watching her hit a pipe and get high. So I say that to say I've lived different lifestyles to where another person would look at it like, well, damn, because I experienced so much. But I looked at my uncles lost their life. And one of my uncles that died, now that I'm older and I'm able to dissect everything, I'm like, he was chasing money. He had a scandalous set of friends, and you are what you associate yourself with. You know what I'm saying? And everything that they did was behind $1. People will kill you behind $1. People will turn on you behind $1. And I can't let money control or dictate who I am. So with that being said, I have to be okay whether I got $1 to my name or if I got $1 million to my name. And so when I posted that picture, that's what I meant. It's like, okay, I can be me no matter where I'm at or what I have because I don't let it define me. And I see a lot of people on social media, they pop it like, I got this, I got that, and it's cool. People can like what they like. And, you can't tell people what to like, but for your internal, because some people, that's all they got. Some people only, that's all they have to praise. They don't have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what that picture was. It was just like, yeah, this cool, but I don't even.
So how has the mindset changed as far as now? Like, what are you chasing now? What are your goals now? What are the things that you wake up every morning to accomplish now these days as an adult, I guess?
I mean, my main thing is just my mental. Like, I always wake up and think about who I am, you know, and think about my children and think about life. Like, I think I'm just really chasing to have and keep a peace of mind, because so many people don't have that.
Yeah.
And I think that we will sit, we like, okay, you have a podcast, I have stuff I'm doing, everybody, you know, human, we have it. But when all this is done and when we go back home and when we're by ourselves, we sit with our thoughts. And I see a lot of people become victims to their thoughts. That's how you have a lot of people commit suicide, a lot of people with depression, a lot of people struggling, a lot of people crying by themselves, a lot of people dealing with breakups, all type of stuff, kids, you know. So my thing is just to have a peace of mind and to be strong enough that I don't let nothing influence me to break my peace of mind. I think that's my biggest goal, because shit can change in the blink of an eye.
Definitely. And I mean, that's just life, right? It wouldn't be life if it wasn't so spontaneous like that. But also, I'm definitely a victim of that. I don't know if it's just being the Sagittarius in me, you know, I keep blaming it, but man, I get lost in thoughts sometimes. What is it? And I guarantee everybody does this, right? What is probably one or two things that keeps you grounded and keeps that peace that you could give advice to people?
I think knowing what I want, you know, and I think my children wanting them to have a good life and be better. And I think everything that I've been through, like the other day, I was with my friend and I was crying, and I was trying to finish crying before she got in the car. Didn't happen. Right? So she gets in the car and I'm crying and she's like, what is wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, you know, see, you don't see what a person go through when they're by themselves. But me and her, we've been together, I want to say, for probably like 3 days. And it was the morning time. And I had to explain to her, I said, this is what I do. Sometimes I just sit to myself and cry because I've been through so much. And when you think about, damn, I lost this person, I'm like, you know, my family is dead. Like the ones that I loved, I grew up with, they're gone. So I have a whole new set of family, which is my kids. And that's hard for anybody when you lose your grandmother, your grandfather, your brother, your uncles. And you know, some of those deaths are in a violent way. And then you think about the things that you go through. So that's stuff that I have to deal with internally. And sometimes you just have to cry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she caught that because she was around me. If you're not around a person every single day, you don't know what a person go through. But you know, when we post a picture, when we're smiling or when we're partying or things like that, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, yeah, I think when we sit in silence sometimes to ourselves, that's when, you know what I mean? I think that's why some people stay so busy, because they don't want to, they try to avoid thoughts like that. And sometimes that's not necessarily healthy either, you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess sometimes you just have to sit there and cry it out.
Yeah, very much so. You just gotta, you know,
release it. And sometimes it doesn't help solve it. It's just, you know, things that come up. And that's good, because I think that's good for you to remember the things like that. You don't necessarily want to get over them. I mean, you just want to keep them there as a reminder of how far you've come, you know what I mean? And that just keeps, I guess, your focus.
It do. But even my trust in people, because like I was just saying, my uncles, you know, the way that they died was by their friends on 3 different occasions.
Dang.
And then my brother, and I never talk about this, but you know, he died by his woman, and she was a nurse practitioner, and so I had to go get her nurse's license revoked and suspended. And it took everything in me not to do something to her and throw my whole life away, because I had the detectives on me. I had consumer affairs on me. And this is the first time I've ever talked about this. But is the trust of a person. And, you know, I think about that, like people in my family trusted a person. And I'm talking high-end people, lawyers, doctors. You know, we're not talking about just
the dealers in the streets, or
we're talking about high-end people with high stature, and people don't have a clue, you know, of the stuff that I'm dealing with. Like, I'm promoting my music, and I had somebody hit me on Instagram and say, hey, I need your help. You know, we read what happened to your brother, and this is somebody I didn't know. And they were like, and the only reason why I reached out is because they knew too much information. And they're like, we heard what happened to your brother and I need your help because the doctor's trying to kill my father. They're feeding my father animal tranquilizer. And that took me somewhere else. So I'm trying to promote an album. Now I'm trying to help this person and I'm trying to make sure her father don't die and nothing happened to her. And now you got these agencies involved and I'm dealing with real heavy shit. I'm dealing with stuff that people have no clue, you know, and I'm like, can y'all make sure nothing happened to her? These people gonna kill her. They're gonna kill her father. I've already went up against these people.
Yeah.
So when I say my mental, it's like people have no clue what a person go through. And a person would never know that I'm dealing with this because when I'm on my Instagram, I'm posting parties or music stuff, or they have no clue. I was on some whole 007 shit a few months ago, you know, praying that this girl and her father survived and praying that they caught these people beforehand because I'm dealing with doctors that's killing people for insurance money. That's some heavy shit.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? And so when I say I just pray for peace, that's what I pray for because I've seen so much evil. And sometimes the evil that I've seen is dressed up as niceness. And that makes me look at people differently. It makes me look at people I do business with differently because I expect anybody to turn. And when they do, I'll be ready for any and everything just because of my past experiences.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel you. I feel you 100%. I'm the same way. Like,
and I've never talked about that.
My trust. Well, you know, thanks for opening up because honestly, like, this happens a lot. People don't realize this happens a lot more than people think. You know what I mean? It's just not being put out there. We don't hear about that stuff because it's not on the news. It's not coming out on things like that because they're such powerful people. It's very hushed.
I want to blast her face. So, like, it's so much stuff I want to do with that, but it's just like, I'd rather just let them people handle it how they're going to handle it and, you know, when it's time. But, you know, that situation is very heavy for me. So I look at that. I look at what happened to my family. I look at what happened to my brother. I look at what happened to my uncles. And it was all by people they trusted, you know, money, all type of stuff. So that's why I always pray for a peace of mind.
Man, well, yeah, man, you never know what people are going through. You know what I mean? And yeah, just keep being kind to people, but also just, oh man, I mean, that's a lot to carry.
Girl.
I feel you though. I mean, I feel you. Trust me. Like everybody has their own share of things, you know what I mean? And just the fact that you carry it so well, you know what I mean? What's your outlet besides music? How do you do it? What's your secret?
I just, you know, I just deal with it. I try to dissect a lot and make sense of it. And I think a lot. I think a whole lot. Like, I think of how did this situation happen? What could have been avoided? You know, I just think, and I think sometimes it can take a toll on a person, but that's why I protect me.
Right.
Because I could be in a situation where I really could snap, and I know that for me. So I don't put myself in a situation like that because I know what my triggers are.
Yeah.
So I just really live like a, you know, smooth life. Now, I talk mess on Instagram to people. I'm going to tell you why. Social media is the devil sometimes.
We were going to get into that, so I'm glad you segued into it anyways.
And
go ahead.
So I used to not, but I'm like, no, I'm cussing all these bras out. I'm calling the kids dusty, they mama ugly. I don't care. Because sometimes you have to read a person, right? Mm-hmm. But that is the only time I will cut up is on social media. Girl, yes.
Man, and that's a whole nother thing that you have to deal with. How do you not let comments and messages and certain things that people say to you not?
Because I cuss them back out. And I feel, no, I'm telling you what, and I feel when I tell you I was cussing somebody out on the way here, I feel so mad. I told this girl, I'm like, girl, you look old and young at the same damn time.
Damn.
I told one girl, you cockeyed and cross-eyed. I don't care. I don't, and I clown and I roast them, and I will go on their page and anything on their page, I'm about to roast you. Yes, we're there tapping out.
Dang, she's not the one.
No,
y'all.
I'm not.
She's not the one.
And I feel like that people need to stick up for themselves on social media.
Definitely.
Because when
Definitely.
you're trying to be the nice person and this person is talking about you and trying to bully you, it's a lot of adults that do cyberbullying, and that's what I noticed. A lot of adults.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to stick up for yourself.
Yeah, just people who are just, I don't know, I can't even explain why they do it, but it's just a lot of it out there. And I don't know if it's like something even deeper to trigger certain people, you know what I mean? But it's just getting out of hand. So there you go. You could either be quiet or snap back. Like,
No, snap back.
She
Cuss
said-
them out.
She said snap back. Give them a taste of their own medicine.
Very
Shut
much
them
so.
up.
Talk about them, they mama, they kids, they house. I don't care. I will, because it's like you. Because one thing I don't do is I don't just disrespect people on social
Yeah.
media. Now I might tell a story on what someone did, but I don't just go.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Blast 'em.
remember I was arguing with somebody and I thought I looked so cute. I'll never forget this. I just came from a photo shoot. I look so cute. And so I'm arguing with this person, and come to find out he was 15. He was like, shut up. That's why you look like a quarterback football player with a synthetic wig. I said, well, I said, wait a goddamn minute.
He was like, no, I'm cute today.
Girl, I
Chill.
was in the mirror looking at myself because of what he said.
Man.
And they kept at me for like a week. And I'm like, I'm cussing all they asses out. And yeah, because them people they're messed up.
Man, and it takes a very strong, person to just sit there and take that step and be like, no, absolutely not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Have you dealt with that?
I have, but my stuff is more like, I'm more like, I'll just block them. Like if they say some weird stuff like, I don't know, you think you're a DJ, you're just sitting there pressing buttons. I'd be like, I just block them. You know what I mean? Because I'm not even going to go into that argument with them.
Right.
But then I have more of the block people are more like weirdos who say weird sexual things. Like,
Okay.
oh, your armpits are sexy. Or like, my armpits, like I'll be doing something like this, you know what I mean? And they're like, ooh, nice armpits. And I'm like, weird. Or like, show me your ass. Or you want a sugar daddy, or you know what I mean, stuff like that.
Don't
So-
block the sugar daddy though.
No, girl, I block the sugar daddies. The sugar dad. The only ones that do kind of make me be like, are the feet pick ones.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do second guess that and be like, should I? They're just feet, But then it's still the concept, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But no, I don't really get any crazy things like that. Every now and then, but not really.
No, okay.
No, I try not. Maybe I don't know. Thank God, because I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
The few ones that I do get, I'm like, it is what it is.
Yeah, very much so.
So, this next song, Break 'Em. This is sugar free.
Sugar free.
How you get this? Oh, well, I'm not even saying how, because you got all of it. You got everybody on your Rolodex.
Yeah. But I really appreciated doing this song with him. I was really grateful that he did this. And then what he did is he took the song and put it on his album.
Nice.
Yeah, he because this was originally for my album, but he liked it so much he put it on his.
Nice. There you
Yeah.
go. So let's go. Let's go straight into it. We'll come back for our closing out. Break 'Em, sugar free.
Secret specialist.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
I coulda had your nigga, he be all up in my DM. Wanna fight me out, begging me to come and see him. Look, I don't break happy homes, I'll break a nigga pockets, send his ass back home. To his bitch, to his wifey. Hoes stay hating cause my wrist hella icy. Chicks don't like me, why they wanna fight me? Mad cause they know that they nigga wanna wife me. Yo, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass. Yeah, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass. Light skin savage, never been average. Pussy on a dick, make a nigga act tragic. Have him leave his wife, not think twice. Start a new life, yeah, the pussy on ice. I ain't got time in to play with you niggas. I show your life, then I lay with you niggas. Yes, I'm Queen Patsy. Ho, please test me. Find a needle in the haystack where you find a nigga stressed. I coulda had your nigga, he be all up in my DM. Wanna fight me out, begging me to come and see him. Look, I I don't break happy homes, I'll break a nigga pockets in his ass back home. To his bitch, to his wifey. Hoes stay hating cause my wrist hella icy. Chicks don't like me, why they wanna fight me? Mad cause they know that they nigga wanna wife me. Yo, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass. Yeah, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass.
She knew a sucker ducker. She had a mask on, I cut a hole in it, and she sucked my dick through the motherfucker. It's 8:45, and honestly, I feel uncomfortable letting a bitch do my hair when her hair is shorter than mine. See, this is my job, P. And I'ma keep my foot on a bitch neck, nigga, if time don't rob me. Sugar Frida, man. Bitch, Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters feel better than your pussy. That's my hand. Hey, Brian J, they closed the spot. If you fucking a bitch and she have a seizure on you, homie, you supposed to stop. Plenty drama. A bitch ever fart in her sleep? The homie said, nah. I said, then take her to anyhow. What have you done for me lately, bitch? Bitch talking about I'ma have my cake and eat it too. Wrong bakery, bitch. Mention her now. Can everybody say Bumblebee tuna pussy stunk so bad brought my core temperature down?
I coulda had yo nigga, he be all up in my DM. Wanna fight me out, begging me to come and see him. Look, I don't break happy homes, I'll break a nigga pockets in his ass back home. To his bitch, to his wifey. Hoes stay hating cause my wrist hella icy. Chicks don't like me, why they wanna fight me? Mad cause they know that they nigga wanna wife me. Yo, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass. Yeah, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass. Yo, look, I'm breaking niggas' pockets like I'm child support and life support. Can't stop it. Yeah, 2 things I never seen: a UFO and look a nigga that I need. Yeah, look, amnesia on the nigga. Fuck him on a Monday, you forgetting on these niggas. Recess in session, dismissing on these niggas. Sissy mouth niggas, I ain't kissing on you niggas. With your little dick ass and tell your mama quit calling, I ain't fucking with her ass. Look, he asked me did I love him. I told him yeah, but on the low I fucked his brother. I coulda had yo nigga, he be all up in my DM. Wanna fight me out, begging me to come and see him. Look, I don't break happy homes, I'll break a nigga pockets in his ass back home. To his bitch, to his wifey. Hoes stay hating cause my wrist hella icy. Chicks don't like me, why they wanna fight me? Mad cause they know that they nigga wanna wife me. Yo, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass. Yeah, get your dough, get your cash. All bad bitches in the club shaking ass.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
Okay. Man, he's hilarious, yo. He is hilarious. It makes it so funny, but you killed that shit, girl.
Thank you.
I like your sound on that one. You sound very natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you sound like you didn't have a lot on it. It was just more.
It was just like a flow.
Yeah. Nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks again for being here. I know we had some difficulties earlier. I apologize.
It was cool.
Thank you so much. Continue to do what you do and snap back and stop letting these haters get to you. You feel me? Stand up, be that strong, powerful woman you are. You know what I mean? You're definitely an inspiration, and I hope you can inspire so many more, with the show and all the things you're doing. Quick shout outs before we leave, and then we will leave out to Break Free.
Okay. I want to
No, I lied.
Oh, no.
Super Sucker.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
So, any shout outs? Go ahead, and then we'll end off on that one.
I just want to shout out my producers, Caviar and Day One, Bobby Blakdout Records, Big Lick. I want to shout out Purple Heart Management and just everyone that's been rocking with me, just everyone that's believing in me. I just want to be an inspiration. I want people to say, oh, well, damn, if she can do it, I can do it. No matter what it is. And
I think you're definitely doing that, girl. Yeah. So, stay true to it. Keep doing whatever you're doing to keep that energy, keep shining. And Super Soaker, before we leave, go ahead and introduce it, and then we'll get up out of here.
So this is one of my favorite songs. This is Super Soaker, produced by Caviar, featuring Mr. Fab and Cocaine.
Nice.
And we are about to shoot the video for this too. So.
There you go, guys. Stay tuned. Alicia Choice, aka SKG, in the building. Thank you guys so much. See you next week. See ya.
Candy. Girl, you sucked the whole bed. Ooh, wee. So super wet. I call her Super Soaker. SK, what's up, baby? Hey. Baby Dave. Okay.
I love the way you twerk them hips and thighs when we have sex. That pussy just like Niagara Falls, 'cause you're so wet. I love the way you take control and rub it on your clit. We gonna have to flip the mattress, girl, you soak my bed.
Shorty wetter than a washing machine. And when she walk by, I swear I be watching them jeans. She got me dropping my jaw, thicker than Dominique Dawg. Come to the room and pretty soon you'll be dropping them draws. This dick, I'm dropping it all. And please don't stop when you call. Take it out, stick it in, bust all over your wall. The sex game, A1 like she invented the shit. Could never tell, 'cause she be looking innocent. See, now I'm missing the beat.
I love the way you twerk them hips and thighs when we have sex. That pussy just like Niagara Falls, 'cause you're so wet. I love the way you take control and rub it on your clit. We gonna have to flip the mattress, girl, you soak my bed.
Yeah, look, I'm twerking on it. Have them going into convulsions, working a pussy muscle on it. Yeah, I'm a bad little bitch. Call me a magician, doing tricks on the dick. Deep throat, make it disappear. Like a golfer in a hole, no jacket, and look, I'm cold. No phone, keep that nigga dick on hold. Digging out the pussy like he digging for gold.
I love the way you twerk them hips and thighs when we have sex. That pussy just like Niagara Falls, 'cause you're so wet. I love the way you take control and rub it on your clit. We gonna have to flip the mattress, girl, you soak my bed.
I'm tryna go a couple rounds, up and down, bend it round. Pussy good, she don't fuck around. And she can suck a bullet out of pistol. Head so good, suck the lead out of pencil. Need some Henny or a cup of the clear. Told her, sit on my face, here, bust on my beard. And when I hit it from the back, I'm about to bust on the rear. Getting head while I'm driving, how the fuck can I steer? Almost ran my truck to a deer.
I love the way you twerk them hips and thighs when we have sex. That pussy just like Niagara Falls, 'cause you're so wet. I love the way you take control and rub it on your clit. We gonna have to flip the mattress, girl, you soak my bed.
Back season, catching flights, not feelings. Middle fingers to the ceiling, yeah, pretty bitches winning. Pussy wetter than a car wash. Queen bitch, I don't listen when them cons talk. Niggas talking marriage and shit. Boy, let me guide your head while you licking the clip. It's on the bag, look, sharing is caring. Told him bring a bad bitch and I ain't talking no Karen.
I love the way you twerk them hips and thighs when we have sex. That pussy just like Niagara Falls, 'cause you're so wet. I love the way you take control and rub it on your clit. We gonna have to flip the mattress, girl, you soak